Meditation practice doesn't mean you can't bring that mindful breath. So squeezing into your side body. And exhale, press back up. Good. Inhale, look forward, lower halfway.
Hindi ko alam kung kita nyo pero pawis na pawis na ako. Yan naman yung hirap sa madaming bintana. Yung araw, pasok lang ng pasok. Hi guys! Good morning! So it's like super early morning right now. It's 7:16 in the morning. There are some important life updates as if naman no, na gusto nyong malaman yung life update ko. Isipin nyo na lang na parang girl group natin. Kung may boys, okay lang. Parang couples group, ganyan. Or di kaya friends group, ganun. Tapos nag-update ako sa inyo ng mga mangyayari sa buhay ko because there is a big life change that is happening and I already shared that with you guys a couple of months na ba ago na nilipat nga kami ng bahay. And it was something that we did not expect. We were in the States, stuck there for 6 months when we got the news that my husband is going to have to pastor in our Santa Rosa church already. There is a way of like staying in this house. However, parang it is our belief na parang mahirap magpastor ng isang church kung malayo ka sa kanila. We want to be a local in Laguna to really feel their pains and their burdens and their joys and their honor, all of that put together so we can be effective ministers in that place. Yeah, and one of these days maybe I could take you through my, would you like that? Like a vlog on me being a pastor's wife? Building a home is really saying that this is mine. This is ownership. Na I own this. This is not my mom thinking for me or my whoever designing this space for me, but this is how I want my space to be. This was my 7th birthday in the house that I grew up in. Of course, this was my very first home. Now, this was my second home. This was actually my very first own space. Still in my parents' home, yes, but I did not get to share a room with my sister anymore. I remember wanting and designing a nice bathroom with a clawfoot bathtub. It was my first time to experience building a space according to my liking. Syempre, marami pa ring help from my mom, but I followed a direction that was according to my taste at the time. Now, my third home was actually the other half of the duplex of my parents. And I was heavily influenced by a trip to vegan that I filled the home with lots of vintage stuff. Ang gulo, diba? I also liked the place to look distressed kasi and rustic. Kasi I was so inspired by Sonia's garden at that time. But then I continued to live in this house with my husband after we got married, and after 10 months, we finally moved into a condo. I purchased that with my money that I saved for my acting career back then. Now this was my fourth home. It was my Eastwood condo, and I had to adjust from having to live in a big house to a smaller unit, a condo unit. This house taught me to keep my life compact and to steward a place well no matter how small it is. Dito ko natutunan yung verse na, "You have been faithful with a few things, I will put you in charge of many things." I was thinking, if I was faithful with the small, then God will make me be in charge of the big. Fifth home. Well, it was actually a temporary home. We unexpectedly sold our condo unit, which required us to move out in such a short amount of time. I remember that we had to crash in my in-laws' place for a year. We had to live in a big room for a few months and then transferred to a smaller room before finding the home that we actually live in right now. And finally, this is the home where we live in right now. The home where we grew from 3 to 4. The home where we started homeschooling. Where we welcomed Manu. Where I experienced refuge from all the triggers I would experience during the worst years of my mental health battle. And the home we should soon be saying goodbye to. Yeah, in about a few months. I honestly feel sad and scared about it. There are 3 considerations that I think are very important when you are looking for your home. The very first thing there is obviously it would be your budget. Ano ba yung budget mo? Kasi reality mo na kaagad yon na, and that was part of our decision making. Kami ng asawa ko nga. Dami yung tinignan, 20 plus houses, and some of them nasa mataas na renta, yung iba mababa, mataas na presyo kung bibili, yung iba naman mababa. And after everything that we've seen, we had to go back to our reality na ano lang ba tayo, ano lang ba yung afford natin. We had to consider that. And also, in the long run, ano ba yung gusto namin? So we had a couple of options na rent this out while renting there. Ayoko munang bumili kasi hindi ko pa alam kung yun talaga, kung doon ko talaga gustong tumira for the rest of my life. Mas maganda siguro to get the real feel of it by renting out a couple of years and then deciding if and when we have fallen in love with the place na, sige, pwede tayong bumili dito, or hindi pala, opposite happens. So that is the decision we're gonna rent out for the moment. So the second point that I'm going to give to you guys or share with you guys is to know your values. There are different kinds of values. One is that your aesthetic or design values. I realized that for the two of us, ang gusto pala namin ay yung open space concept. May mga bahay kaming nakita na sobrang niyang laki. Parang pag binigay sa'yo yung measurement ng bahay, parang, that's a good size for us. But then when you go in, it's not an open space concept. So there's like a lot of harang-harang. Naggawa sila ng partition, ng wall, and it makes it feel cramped. When you're looking for your home, or you want to build a home, pay attention. Ano ba yung design value? Kung gusto ko ba yung mailaw? Gusto ko ba yung madilim? Gusto ko ba yung maraming bintana? Maraming dingding? Diba? Second is philosophical values. When I say this, it's also very informative of the way that you're going to make your decision, ha? Kasi like for us, okay, ang isang philosophical value namin is we love to host. We just liked having people in our home because I feel like this is the best way that you can share life with others. Having them over for meals and stuff. Although we can't really do that ngayong pandemic. But ever since back then, even when we were in the condo, I had one of the walls torn down kasi sabi ko, hindi ko naman kailangan yung kwarto na yan. Pero kailangan ko yung bigger space so I can have people over for dinners and lunches. Knowing that we are like that's a value in our lives. We look for spaces where there are really good, like there's a good amount of open space for entertaining people. And also, we don't like to have a lot of staff. Hindi po namin gusto na marami kaming kasambahay. Not because ayaw namin ng kasambahay, but there's a deeper reason kasi for that. I have growing boys, and in my experience, when you have a lot of staff, the kids in the home really don't learn their responsibilities because mas madaling umasa. I don't know, maybe, some families are able to do that, have a lot of staff, but then, have their kids responsible also at the same time. But for me personally, ang nafe-feel ko is the more that I have staff, the more ako mismo umaasa sa kanila than me doing things myself and then actually passing it on to my children na okay, then you have responsibilities. Parang it's just really natural and normal na when no one else can do the job, then someone should rise up to the position and do the job. Well, I don't want a big house because a big house will require naturally a lot of staff. That's one. Super hirap maglinis kung mag-isa ka lang. Pangalawa, ayun lang pala. The third thing na i-share ko sa inyo is consider your season. What is your season in life? I put in here for us, at least because we have 2 growing boys, that the community is very important. One of the selling points of the house where we are moving in right now, is that our friends are just a few steps away. Then the other thing that I put in here is that Is this a season of settling down like forever, or is it a season that will also end? And for us, it's a season that will end. I don't think that this house where we are moving into is going to be our last house. I think we are not going to determine that until a few years into it na okay, gusto na nga talaga namin dito. Or may mas iba pa pala kaming place na gusto sa Laguna, or malipat na naman yung asawa ko. We never know. At least to know that this is not gonna be forever for us makes us move faster and decide faster na, okay lang, there are some things that we are not gonna be able to, like this is the dream thing that we want to have. But within that dream, konti lang, or some things pumasok dun sa requirement, some things not. We can overlook some of those things just because we know that this is not forever naman eh. So we can settle with the things that we didn't really get in this home for now because we know that, you know, this is not naman for the super long haul. Okay, so those three things: budget, consider your budget, consider your values, and there are two values under that. That would be your aesthetic or design values, and then you also have your philosophical values. And then the third thing is consider your season of life. That will be, those things will really inform you of how you can get the home that is perfect for you in the here and now. Don't cry for me, Argentina. Ay, yung kapitbahay ko nakatingin na sa akin. Sabi niya, luka-luka yung lilipat dun sa... Hi guys! So I'm in front of the house that we are like 85% sure to rent. So I have my ID, interior designer, supplier all-in-one, Ella, who is a good friend of mine, and she did my house in Eastwood before. Di pala house, condo. And she's making sukat. Social. So sinusukat niya yung ano ngayon, yung area, so she can give me like a recommendation on what to do. But while she's doing that, I'm gonna give you an empty house tour. So this is pretty much the basic layout. Welcome. This is the front part. This is the door. Door, pintuan. Alam niyo po yun? Okay. Yung door, iibay namin yung kulay niyan. Tsaka gagandahan namin yung pintura niya. Ito yung garden. Alam nyo, nung naghahanap ako ng bahay, sabi ko, Lord, gusto ko ng may garden. Tapos ito yung pinakita sa akin ni God. So, nakailan na kami, ito lagi yung wala sa mga pinupuntahan namin. But this is the garden. Ipapa-landscape pa daw ng may-ari. So, we're renting lang. So, we're not buying this. We're just renting. So, pretty big space. There. There you go. So this is like going to the main living room, and then the other entrance goes to... Aray ko, may cobweb. Let's go through the main door kasi para mas may sense kayo of the orientation of the... Taray, may pa ganun pa ako. So this is what you're gonna see when you enter. This is the living area, dining, and then I'm probably gonna put a TV, and then Ella said that I can put the piano over there. This one is something that we're gonna take away. We don't like it. So magiging open na yan. Tuloy-tuloy na lang siya. Then I'm imagining a breakfast nook. So gagandahan pa namin yan. Ito rin. So we're gonna retain what we can retain. I'm gonna take you up. So this is the staircase. And this is kind of what you see going up. And I'm thinking maybe, remember my signature macrame? I can probably put it here. So right when you get to the second floor is the master's. And ta-da! May pa ganun. Yan lang ang cabinet nila. Hindi kasya ang buhay ko dyan. This is the banyo. Super small, but that's fine. Kasi, andito naman na yung dresser. So, I can keep a lot of things there. It's just a matter of maximizing this space. The second room is gonna be the quiet room where we feel like our podcasting, studio needs, shoots, whatever can be done here, as well as Zoom calls. Kasi that's the problem that we have right now in the house. Everything is like a shared area, so it's so hard to do calls without the kids like screaming like crazy around you. And so, ito naman yung room ng kids. So, dahil yung double deck nila. And then, the cabinets are sufficient. Then, here's the hallway. And I especially love this. That arc. Ang lakas maka-grease. Yes. Nagpa-deck sila dito. So, ang plano, ito na yung gagawa namin ng dyan na yung swimming pool at saka yung exercise area. Garage. Balak ni Ella magpalagay ng cabinets that would serve as a storage. Ayan. Ito na yung laundry area sa loob. Kasi right now, nandito siya. Meron pang isang external banyo. Kaya lang, ang problema, walang bubong. So, mauulanan ang beloved LG washing machine Pro. So, guys, I already gave you a tour, an empty house tour with some of my inputs and insights. I am excited to beautify this home. And I hope that you guys would join me on this journey. It's gonna be a fun one. Always have room for change. Naturally, as human beings develop, evolve, and change, your space is going to change as well. Dati naalala ko meron pa akong may dilemma pa ako sa paghanap ng coffee table, yung center table sa living area. Na-realize ko, hindi ko naman pala kailangan kasi kailangan ko nga puro mats na lang dahil yung mga anak ko nagtatakbuhan lang naman din sa sala namin. So, that's what I mean about like your space is going to change, and I do believe that when my kids are grown, it's really gonna be an entirely different space again. You know, you can hold the same space actually, be in the same household, but it could look differently in about 5 to 10 years. So always have room for change. I am a person who's layout oversized. I have encountered a lot of big houses, but I never end up liking them because I'm thinking it just feels tight inside. So there is a way of layouting your house na kahit ang laki-laki niya, sa pag-layout mo, napaliit mo lang yung feeling sa loob. Yan, mas maganda pala yung pagsabi ko dito, it is not how big, but how well you are able to utilize your space. The next thing that I learned through the years is that it's always good to have your base or your canvas to be as neutral as possible. Actually, sa Homebodies, I'd like to make a shout out to my neighbor sa Homebodies. Diyan ko sinimulan yun yung sabi ko, yay, sa mga team puti-puti. Kasi ang hilig ko sa puti, ang hilig ko sa gray, ang hilig ko sa brown. And the reason for that is because pwede ka magtapon ng kulay kung yung canvas mo sa likod ay almost parang wala namang sinasabi. Ayokong gumagastos ng malaki para sa mga bagay na hindi kailangang gastusan ng malaki. There are things, I don't buy all expensive things, but the ones that are very important, I don't mind. I really will purchase something that is a bit pricey. If I can afford it, of course. If it really proves to be a functional and helpful thing for the home. Third to the last, do not rush. A home is built over time. Sometimes you have to feel out the space. Live in it first before you actually say na, I kind of want my table here. Or, I kind of want more of like our play area in this section. I feel like when you're moving into a home, it's better that you live in it first before you actually decide on it completely. Rent before you build. If you can, try renting out spaces. It will teach you a lot. Use whatever time you have to like discover when you're living in a certain place, what do I like about this space and what do I not like? This house has taught me I am not a person for 3 floors. Kasi feeling ko hindi naman nagkikita-kita yung mga tao. Mas okay pa sa akin na 3 different structures but all on the same floor kesa sa pataas siya na 3. If you can rent and observe yourself within the spaces that you rent about the things that you like and don't like, it will really be informative of the kind of home that you actually want to build for yourself. Last thing on the list, your home is yours, so make it you. I'll share you this story. When we transferred to the house of my in-laws, tapos nakikita lang kami sa isang maliit na kwarto doon. My in-laws were very, very generous and they didn't make us feel like we were outsiders or we didn't. It felt like na parang, oh, this is really your home also. You know, in that little space that we had, I was able to make a home out of it. And I actually have great memories with my firstborn and my husband in that house. Kahit napasabihin mo na hindi namin bahay yun at nakikitira lang kami. Tapos naalala ko, nag-isang Pasko kami na, so nandun pa rin kami. And of course, naturally, the Christmas tree was my mother-in-law's Christmas tree, which is very, very nice. So instead, what I did was, I bought a small Christmas tree and I put it right outside of our room and then I hung a sock that said our family's name, just to signify that, you know, even in this small room, there is ownership and this is us. I'm very grateful for my in-laws, but also at the same time, I want to say that this is still our space, this is still our own, and it expresses who we are as a family and our values. Grateful for the time that you spent with me. I hope that you would just stick around and then wait for my vlog week after week because we're gonna be releasing more and more in the days to come. And thanks for watching. I hope, if you haven't yet, that you will subscribe, turn on the notification bell para alam nyo pag may something new, and like if you really like the video. If not, eh di wag.